What is up? Happy Thursday. Welcome to Fantasy Happy Hour. We are ready. It is live. We got some good jerseys on tonight. Mine's kind of a jersey. I'm going with it. Elliot's got a nice one. Ray's got that college again. Ray, show off yours first. Let's see that thing.
So I'm rocking the Thurman Thomas, Oklahoma State. You know what I'm saying? Repping a little throwback for those of y'all who know Thurman Thomas. I got more college jerseys than I do NFL, so I can't play the games for Thursday. But if we did this on Saturday, I'd be good money.
It's sick. It's sick. Elliot's on theme tonight. He's on theme. He's got what? Kuechly? You got him over there?
It's a little Kuechly jersey, and honestly, I was gonna wear the black Christian McCaffrey today from Stanford, the Stanford jersey, but I wore that when I came on Ray's show, and I was like, that's kind of cheating, that's double dipping. And I got to be honest, if I lose today, I'm gonna learn that theme does not matter and Twitter does not care. I do want to say before we get started, I did buy a Panthers hat for this game like a month ago.
Go Pat, wear it.
And it's a child's hat. So this is legit. That's as far as it goes down on my head. So we are pretending that this black Orlando Magic hat instead is
that's dope,
a Panthers hat.
That's Josh's hat,
so
right?
Cool.
Yeah, Josh got a big old head. He just got baby legs.
It's fire. It's fire. We got a fire game tonight, kind of. Panthers versus Texans. It's going to be an interesting one. Spread -8 yesterday. I've got the Panthers winning this one. I think it's pretty obvious, right? Is anybody going for the Texans here? You guys both got Panthers, right?
Go ahead, EC.
I mean, yes. To sum it up, the Texans have been way better than I think anyone thought in their first two games, right? Tyrod Taylor was legit balling. He when he left that Browns game, he was 10 of 11. Davis Mills, on the other hand, though, is not so great. He's now thrown 83 passes, including the preseason, and he's thrown 5 picks in those 83 passes, and only 18 of them were against NFL starting caliber players against the Browns last week, going 8 of 18. If you look at this depth chart beyond Brandon Cooks in the receiving game, they had Chris Conley and Andre Roberts and Anthony Miller. They just don't have guys that scare you. The Panthers defense has been phenomenal to start the year.
Insane.
The best defense in football through 2 weeks. And I don't think anyone would have thought that when 2 years ago they had to spend an entire draft class on defensive players because they literally had none. But, Derek Brown on the inside, and the thing I love about them is that they generate pressure and they force turnovers. J.C. Horn got his first career pick last week. Jeremy Chin has been a phenomenal safety. Dante Jackson on the outside. And then they've got Hassan Reddick and Shaq Thompson at the linebacker position, which means that they have so much speed. They can have so many different personnel groups to match up against their opponents. So I think we've seen a better Sam Darnold. They've got all the advantages on offense. The Texans defense has still been horrendous this year. I don't think that Davis Mills and the Texans are going to be able to move the ball effectively. I think they're going to come out with an old school mentality of protect the young quarterback, and we're going to try to run against a team that's allowed the fewest adjusted line yards. So I don't think that's going to work well. And I think the Panthers, it's chalky, but I think the Panthers win this game fairly easily.
Yeah. So,
Ray, what you got?
To piggyback off of, Elliot's point, they're averaging the Panthers defense right now. They're giving up 190, 190. What is this? Yards per game, passing yards per game. I mean, they're dumb. I mean, J.C. Horn, Derek Brown, Deontay Jackson, Jeremy Chin, Brian Burns. They've got weapons at every level, right? They can get after the passer. You got Shaq Thompson in the middle of the second level at the linebacking core, ultra athletic, and then their secondary is starting to develop into one of the better secondaries in the NFL. I just think that last week we did this with the Washington football team, New York Giants game, and we thought it was going to be a blowout. We thought that Washington was going to wear them out, and then the Giants went out there and put up a good fight. All I'm saying is I've been impressed with the Houston Texans and their 1-1 start because they're not the worst team in the league. The overarching theme of Houston going into the season was they've got the number 1 pick locked and loaded. They're not the worst team in the NFL. Now, that was with Tyrod Taylor. Davis Mills takes over. But there's this theory, the wounded duck theory, right? When a team is beaten and battered to hell, somehow they rally around the troops. And for everything that Houston's not, I'm just going to give them credit for what they are. They do have a dynamic receiver in Brandon Cooks, and that three-headed backfield, while it's a nightmare for fantasy purposes with Ingram, David Johnson, and Phillip Lindsay, it's working well for David Culley and the Texans. So Carolina's going to win the game. I don't think it's going to be, we'll know really early. We'll know what Houston's game plan is right out the gate. Are they going to run the ball, try to keep it away from Sam Darnold? Let's just, I know they got CMC, but let's pump the brakes on what Sam Darnold is right now. 2 games into his Carolina career. He ain't Patrick Mahomes or some elite level quarterback. I do think Carolina's going to win. The defense is strong, but I've been saying it. I think it may be a little closer of a game than people are anticipating.
What do you think then? How many do you think they're going to win by?
Well, Elliot's muted right now.
Elliot's
so he
muted.
Needs to unmute.
Sorry, I was going to say the one point I wanted to make to Ray's point is like, he said early in the season, and to me, a point from betting is early in the week, right? Right now, the Panthers are as high as 8.5. I bet them Sunday afternoon at -4. So I have 4.5 points on line, which is incredible closing line value. And that's something we do very well at FTN Bets is we hammer lines as they get out. We're going to go through this entire show, and we'll talk about Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore and different numbers. And always getting the best of the number is huge because I don't have to worry about whether or not the Texans can win by the Panthers can win by 2 scores. I have to worry about whether or not they can win by more than 4. So it's a completely different scenario. And I agree with Ray that like it is becoming the Carolina Panthers are laying 8.5 on the road. That's a large number for a team that coming into the year had a 7.5 win total that people didn't think were particularly good. So 8.5 definitely gets a little nervous. But if I have to pick a side, it's the Panthers. I think if you're going to play them, I'd rather tease them down and pick a team like the Ravens and Chiefs. So you just need those 2 teams to win than laying that or do a parlay and buy some points again at 6.5. I'd want it under a touchdown before I lay it.
How shocked would you be if Houston wins? Like, just how shocked would you be?
I mean, any team can win a game, right? Like, I'm a Jets fan. I want Trevor Lawrence forever, and then they went out and beat the Rams as 18-point underdogs. So any team can win a game. I would give the Texans about like a 15 to 20% chance to win the game.
That's fair. I was just throwing that out there.
No, I mean, they could do it, but I think it's going to require Davis Mills to play a lot better than he's frankly ever played in his life. And that's the scary thing. If they had Tyrod Taylor, they could win this game because Taylor takes care of the ball. He handles pressure pretty well. He and Cooks had a tremendous chemistry. I worry that if the Panthers can take away Cooks and they are able to score on them, how does Mills try to keep up? And he probably tries to keep up by throwing to the wrong team.
Who's their backup quarterback? Just wondering who they have.
Jeff Driscoll.
The Driscoll experience, man. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the total. We got it at 43.5. That was yesterday. What's it at now? Anyone know?
It's still at 43.5. That one hasn't moved.
That one hasn't moved. I got the under on that one. I don't know what this offense is going to do with Davis Mills, as you were just saying, but we'll see. I think there could be some big turnovers on his end with this Panthers defense playing so well. I wouldn't be surprised. So, but I'm kind of scared. They could have big yards on offense still. We'll see. What do you guys think? What do you have, Elliot?
Yeah, I would say that I'm on the under as well. One of my favorite things that I've done is like Mark Ingram rushing yards and Davis Mills under passing yards in this game to go under because it says the Texans try to keep it close, and then Mills doesn't really throw the ball much, and then he can't get out, and the game stays under. The biggest concern for me is can the Panthers defense score? Because when you have defensive battles and then their defense scores, all of a sudden the entire thing changes because the Panthers offense is capable of putting up 28, 30 points in this game. But both Panthers games have gone under. Both Texans games have gone over. I'm gonna lean with the better team controlling the pace and say that the game goes under 43 points to me.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't have much to add. I think it's an under as well.
Under. Then we move on to CMC, Christian McCaffrey, over under 47.5, gone up to 51.5 most places.
See, the issue with this show, and it's let me tell you, it's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have. everybody watching, and this isn't some PR plug. Like, y'all got to tap into Elliott because he's jumping on these lines early, like early. You heard he got Carolina -4 early in the week. Now they're 8.5. I mean, this is, I'm just saying, tap into EC early, like straight up, real talk, tap in. But see, the problem is some of us can't partake in that goodness, so it doesn't matter if I'm early or late. The shit is the same for me regardless. My book, the book that I use, the line is just the line whenever it comes out. But EC, you on it, man.
Yeah, I'm trying. Like, that's the whole thing, is to be my fiance is starting to kill me. She's like, you don't need to refresh DraftKings again. You did it like 2 minutes ago. And I was like, but you don't know. And then there comes out a prop, and now I'm hammering it. I'm trying to explain it to her why. Hey, I got Cooper Kupp at +110, and now he's -185 4 hours later, babe. Didn't I do a great job? And she's like, I don't know what that means. Can we watch our show? But I'm glad that someone appreciates it.
Is there any, real quick, EC, is there any risk in that, though? Like jumping on stuff way early in the week and then, practice reports come out, things happen. Like, is there any risk to just kind of strategy?
Yeah, so typically you want to bet overs early, unders later, because naturally people want to root more for overs anyway. So you want to have that mentality in mind, but you also want to understand who you're betting on. Typically guys that have a questionable tag, or let's say they're not sure who the quarterback are, they hold those props out longer. So there's definitely questions, like, and the thing is, like, we're plugged in, right? That's what we do all day long, is we try to understand what's going on. So I try to have all the information. So are there times you get burned? Of course, but I would rather get burned a few times and then have a lot of success. You know what I mean? Like, it's a whole risk reward proposition. And for me, early is always best. You tend to get the best numbers. And frankly, if you're betting early frequently and the numbers are constantly moving against you, it's a great sign that your process is wrong.
Thank you. I think people appreciate that, man.
Yeah, listen, it's all an educational experience, right? How many people are betting this year for the first time and they want to do it fun? And, it's not always just I'm going to bet on my favorite player, right? Like, there's times where I'll take unders on DJ Moore. It's not going to be tonight, but there are going to be times that I do it, right? Like, it's all about the value in the number.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that insight. Now we move on to the quarterback who is filling in for Tyrod Taylor. I think a lot of the game is riding on this guy just to see, how he does. Davis Mills, over under 211.5 passing yards. I got the over on this. He's projected 233 on FTN fantasy projections, in case you guys look at it. What do you guys got? What do you at, Elliot?
Yeah, first, I don't even think we answered the CMC thing. We're over. I think we're all over.
Over CMC.
Come on, guys.
We're over. Yeah, the Texans are giving up 50 yards per game to running backs through the air this year, and that was to James Robinson, Carlos Hyde, Kareem Hunt, and Nick Chubb. Those aren't Christian McCaffrey, who's averaging 77 yards so far this year with Sam Darnold. So I like that over. Honestly, Davis Mills' number has been all over the place today. It's some books have had it as low as 203. Some have had it as high as 221. And every time I check, it moves a little bit. And I really think this is one of those numbers where I've kind of put into parlays, because I tell myself a story about what the Texans are going to try to do. And if they try to do, like last week we talked about Tyler Heineke, right? If you want to bet his passing yards over, you probably want to parlay that with Terry McLaurin. McLaurin and Heineke then go over, because he's not going over without McLaurin going over. So I think it's an interesting thing where with the Texans, like, I think parlaying it with like a Mark Ingram, if you want to go the under, go Mark Ingram carries over, because it says that they're going to run a lot. And now you can start getting 2-1, 3-1 on something that probably should, really correlate well. I think it's a very good line. And I think that I would definitely go over, because basically any NFL quarterback, I'm taking over 200 yards, because it's modern day football. David Culley's old school approach, is what makes me nervous. So I want to rock with you, Brooke, but at the same time, I'm very nervous. I wouldn't bet it straight up. I would lean over a little bit on 211, but right now the action I have on him is on unders.
What was the question? Who are we talking about?
Davis Mills, over under.
I was sneezing, and then I don't know if I muted myself or not. I thought I did, but then I don't think I was just distracted.
You're good.
My bad. Davis Mills over 211.
Yeah, over under.
Yeah, man. He'll hit that. Come on, man. He'll hit that.
Raise with me.
Like, even if it's in mop-up time, if they do get blown out, if the game script is CMC goes nuts, they score a bunch of points and get up, I mean, he's gonna be forced to throw the ball. I mean,
yeah.
I think he'll hit the over on that. Don't give me. I don't have any detailed statistics for you, but shit, come on, man. I mean, come on, 211. Let me tell you this. Let me say this. I think he hits the over, but I wouldn't bet it. Like I wouldn't bet it. So you're just asking.
We're staying away from it.
I'm gonna stay away from it personally.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll bet on this next one. Mark Ingram, over under 9.5 carries. What do you have, Elliot? I'm going last this time.
I'm slamming this over. I think it's a 10.5 some places now. I think it's minus 150 on the over. But Ingram's had 40 carries in 2 games.
Yeah.
He's the RB1 on the team. They use David Johnson in pass game situations. They haven't really used Phillip Lindsay that much. So they're going to try. Like, do I have faith that it's going to be efficient? No. But give me over 9.5 carries pretty confidently.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, he's their hammer. You know, they're not going to use him in the receiving game a lot. He doesn't do any of that. But if Houston gets the ball first, the best way to eliminate the big plays from Christian McCaffrey, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Terrace Marshall is to try to keep them off of the field. And Mark Ingram has looked above average this season. He looks like a competent NFL running back. I mean, he doesn't look too washed up, doesn't look old. He's going to get carries. It's at home, playing well. Yeah, I like Mark Ingram. 10 carries. He can do that.
Yeah, I'm with y'all. 14 carries in week 1 and week 2, or 26 in week 1, 14 in week 2. So I think we're going to be fine betting the over on that one. I was actually surprised how low that was. DJ Moore, over under 67.5 receiving yards. I got the over on here. Moore had 80 receiving yards week 1, 79 week 2. He's a favorite target for this team. So what about you, Elliot?
Yeah, I would just say that, like, Brooke, I don't want to steal your thunder, but basically that's the analysis. Like 19 targets through 2 weeks. He's the number 1 guy. They've taken away some of his deep roll. It's lower ADOT stuff, which is higher efficiency, which means that he's going to get more catches, and he's one of the most dangerous players after the catch in all of football. So, like, for me, DJ Moore is he's the only receiver in football to have back-to-back 1,200-plus scrimmage yards. I don't think people realize how good he is and how successful he's been. And the Panthers are throwing the ball more. Sam Darnold's taking more chances. I don't really understand why it didn't work with Teddy Bridgewater. We're seeing it work really well in Denver this year. But I think that Moore is one of the best players in football. And last year, the Texans have done well against wide receiver ones this year, but I'm putting that in air quotes because the Browns ran out of receivers. Right? Yeah. But last year, they were second worst in all of football and gave up 85 yards and almost 9 targets a game. So DJ Moore is going to get fed the ball early and often. And even if this game gets blown out, he doesn't get much fourth quarter work. I think he will have already gone over 70 yards by then.
It's DJ Moore, man.
Right?
Man, as long as it's DJ Moore, as long as it's not a touchdown prop for DJ Moore, then you could smash it.
He scored a touchdown last week, right? We're changing things up.
That's what did Jay-Z say once in that Nas diss song, one out of every 7. That's you know what I mean? Like it's one every 10 years. DJ Moore scores a touchdown, but I like his over 19 targets. He is the number 1. Sam Darnold is looking for him. And it's not just that he's looking for him. If you watch the games, they're designing plays to get him the ball early and often. He is the alpha in that offense. Robbie Anderson has seen his target share and role decrease the first couple of games of the season. I know a lot of people thought Sam Darnold and Robbie's connection from New York. Sam, maybe that worked in New York. And then he looked across the other side of the field and saw a real wide receiver and was like, I got to get that guy the ball. So, DJ Moore, I'm with you. I'm going over.
And on to one of my favorite former Rams, Brandon Cooks. I love that man. I miss that man. Over under 67.5 receiving yards once again. What do y'all think? Ray, you're giving me some Brandon Cooks love. Well, you got the over on this one?
I got to make the bet, tell a story. If I think Mills is going to get 211 yards, I don't think Chris Conley's getting it. I don't think it's Pharaoh Brown or Jordan Atkins. It's going to be Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks is going to be the target. And the good thing about Cooks, he doesn't need a lot of deep targets, right? He can run deep, he can run intermediate, but they can also throw screens to him and let him just do work after the catch. So I think Brandon Cooks the over. I'm taking the over. And that is one I put money on. I'm fine with that.
Let's go. Elliot, you putting money on this one?
I'm not actually putting money on this one. I listen. It is he has the highest air yard share and highest target share of any player in the NFL through 2 weeks. To Ray's point, if you have Davis Mills over, I don't know how you have Brandon Cooks under, because the rest of these dudes are like one catch for 20 yards. Like, that's like Andre Roberts, Chris Conley.
Why not Cooks though? EC. Davis Mills ain't gonna. You think he's gonna throw for like 70 yards? How many yards? Like just.
I don't think he's gonna throw for 70 yards. No, I'm saying I genuinely don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, so I didn't bet on it. I'm not saying I'm taking the under on Brandon Cooks. I'm saying that I'm not touching the Texans' pass offense because I don't trust what they're going to do. Now,
he's a 5-star recruit out of high school. I'm just.
Why is Brandon Cooks not on the Saints right now? Why is Brandon Cooks not the number one receiver?
Houston right now.
That's honestly like. He's phenomenal. He's one of statistically. Had one of the best starts to his career of any receiver in NFL history.
Yes.
And he does it on every team. And now he's doing it with Tyrod Taylor and Davis Mills. Like, this dude is phenomenal at football. And he just keeps getting traded every year. Like, if I had to pick a side, I'd pick the over, because 67 is too low for that. Davis Mills scares the hell out of me. Like, 8 of 18 last week. And now he's going up against the defense that's been the best in football that –
to be fair, I'm just saying, to be fair, Justin Fields looked terrible when he came in. I mean, it's coming off of the bench, in which backup quarterbacks get like 0 reps in practice during the week. 0. I mean,
I have a really strong counter. Yeah. Really strong counter.
I'm just that's factual though.
Justin Fields did not play well last year. Last week.
So when you're coming off of the bench cold versus Jadeveon Clowney, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Denzel Ward, Myles Garrett. I mean, that's a tall task to ask of a quarterback.
1,000,000,000%. And they only get a couple practices this week, right? It's really walkthrough, so it's not like he's getting a ton of reps
this week. He's not getting a ton of work.
At least it's more. I would say the biggest counter argument to that is Justin Fields looked good in the preseason. Davis Mills looked bad there. Justin Fields looked good at Ohio State. Davis Mills didn't look good at Stanford. Like that's the strongest counter argument.
But think about it. Okay? So the counter to that, because I'm a lawyer, so there is I get to like recross you. I can cross. So my only counter to that is he looked good in preseason and still didn't look good coming in off of the bench. Davis Mills, that's a tall task for any quarterback coming off of the bench cold. I'm no Davis Mills truther. I don't like him. I don't think he's very good. But if he's playing over Jeff Driscoll, at least we've seen Jeff Driscoll air it out. Jeff Driscoll has given us good fantasy performances in his time. How much?
All I hear is that Ray thinks that Mills is better than Mac Jones.
He's throwing for 300 tonight.
He's throwing for 3. Can we get that clip, please?
Oh my gosh, you heard it here first.
Give me. Hold on. I'm just kidding. Give me 249. 249. Davis Mills, 249. Give me that. Davis Mills is going for 249 tonight.
That would be an interesting game.
This is what
I'm
happens
looking for
when
that
I get
one.
excited. I just take over and
there's no cross of the cross exam there. I'm just gonna let Ray have that moment.
Well, that's the end of it. There's that. That was that legally. That's it. It's over. So.
Elliot, you got some long shot plays here. What do you have, Davis Mills, on this first touchdown? What do you have here?
Yeah, more Davis Mills talk.
We want more Mills. We just want to keep talking this little kid. Don't tell my son
MGM. First off, we need to talk about Davis Mills' neck at some point, because that thing is horrifying. I don't know if you guys saw the picture that went viral today, but he should have no issue seeing over his line. The really interesting thing is that BetMGM today is offering a $25 risk-free. So if you lose the bet, you get the $25 back on first touchdown. First touchdown is probably the hardest thing to predict. So I took Davis Mills 50-1 to score the first touchdown rushing. That honestly, there's not a ton of analysis. He's behind. He's literally behind third-string tight ends in the odds. get down to the 1 yard line. They can use his big body. He's got some athleticism, can get outside the pocket, maybe break contain. We've seen that happen. It's unlikely to hit, but at 50-1 for free odds, I mean, that's literally risk zero to win 12.50. That's, to me, I'm doing that.
Nice.
So that was a long shot bet right there.
Then you got one more? You got one more?
Yeah, what else?
I do have one more. I put
got
it in
game
the doc. I'm
parlay
trying to remember
here.
what it was.
You got a parlay going on here. I
Yeah.
need to know
So
about this.
I have a few actually, but let's pull up the one right now that I want to talk about.
Give us some good ones. This got interesting
All right,
quick, guys.
This is. I think Ray's gonna appreciate this. Sam Darnold over 258. Panthers win. Terrace Marshall over 29 yards, and Terrace Marshall scores a touchdown. That pays out at 12-1.
I like that. Yeah,
basically,
like
if Terrace Marshall scores a touchdown, we're very live. And he's had 9 targets on the season, and his 2 of them have come in the red zone. They want to use his big body. Texans aren't good against slot receivers, and Marshall is way more talented than anyone they line up against them.
Yeah.
Let's go, Marshall.
Like
we'll be rooting for that tonight. What jerseys are we bringing out?
Oh, go ahead, Brooke. Sorry, host.
Oh, I was on to next week. So you give us what you want for this game.
No. Go ahead, because I'm looking something up. So I need you to take back over real quick.
I just need to know what I'm doing next week, because if I gotta pull out the big guns, I'm pulling out the big guns.
Okay. I got it. So this is the anti-Davis Mills thing. How many starts do you think Davis Mills has had prior to this game? Throughout his, what number start from his entire college career at Stanford to this game? How many starts do you think Davis Mills has had since high school?
It's less than 15. It's like 11. No, because actually it's probably like 6 or 7 because he was hurt.
Low. It's higher than that, but this will be from his days playing high school football. Tonight will be his 12th start that Davis Mills has had. 12 starts. That's not good. And he was at Stanford for 3. He was there for 3 years, and this is going to be start 12 for Davis Mills.
How was he here?
A couple times,
How did he make it here?
How did he get drafted in the 3rd round is the question.
Yeah.
Because he was a 5-star recruit.
He needs to be on that meme.
He was a 5-star recruit, yeah.
He was a 5-star recruit, and he kind of fits the mold of a lot of 3rd-round quarterbacks that the NFL's liked, right? Like, it's big, white, and bad at football. They're like, come on down, third-round pick, Brock Osweiler and all those dudes. They all look the same, they all play the same, and they all stink. And they all go in 3rd round.
If you're big white with a big neck, you're going to get a shot, man. That's your ticket. You just got to have that neck, baby.
That's wrong. That is wrong.
Right, sorry.
Savage here.
I saw that, and that's interesting. I'm like, damn.
I love it. That is
going
insane.
for 300. All right.
Davis Mills, here we go tonight.
I'm ready.
We're about to see a game. I am so excited for this game. And on to next week, because I need to know what I'm bringing out in this Jersey game next week. Are y'all going big? I'm a little scared.
So here's my plan. It is cooling off drastically in Texas. This morning I woke up. It was freezing cold. It was 54 degrees.
Oh,
so I've got to get some of my NBA stuff out of the way. We're less than 30 days away from the kickoff. I can't do theme of the week. I can't do themes. I don't have a lot of NFL ones. I can't do themes.
How about we do an NBA theme next week? Because I'm in on that one.
What I said is just I've got jerseys, all kinds.
Oh, I got an NBA one for you.
Well, then just bring out what you can bring out. Bring out whatever you got.
I
got something nice.
Elliot, you got any NBAs you can compete with us?
I do. I want to give a shout out to my boy who started a sneaker store that turned into like a throwback store as well, Top Shelf Kicks. And so he's got all the throwback jerseys and authentics. He actually, when I tweeted about this, he's like, "Yo, I'll help you win that competition. Come down the store. I'll hook you up with a whole bunch of stuff." Like,
this is
he got me like an album. I got an Alvin Kamara Tennessee College
pitcher. Elliot needs relief. He needs the help. Call him in. Get him out of the bullpen. Call him in.
But I got an Alvin Kamara practice jersey from Tennessee. Like, he found he has like all kinds of crazy stuff. But if we want to do some NBA stuff, we can pull that out. I had like a Jacksonville Jaguars number 55. I don't even know who it is. Throwback jersey. It almost looks like a practice jersey. That I was going to bring out next week. But honestly, if I lose this week, I don't know if theme's the way to go. I might have to try something out.
Who won this week? I like Luke Kuechly, and the Carolina blue is dope. That's my when I saw that, I was like, oh, he brought out the blue joint. Like, that's nice.
Pretty.
That's nice.
That's a nice one.
But
and I'm also an Oklahoma fan, so that state thing.
That hoodie is dope, though. I can't lie. The hoodie is dope.
I thought it was a jersey when I first saw it. I thought it was like mine where I put the hoodie underneath the jersey.
Brooks, I had to get this custom made for the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 53, I wore this baby.
Well, then you won. Once you say custom made for the Super, so Brooke won.
Flex.
I had to represent my boys. Look at this. Representing my brother and dad over here. It was fun.
Right. As soon as the show's over, Brooke will tell you why she couldn't get to her actual jerseys.
Yeah. There's a story. There's some good jerseys coming out this year, though.
Brooke just flexed on everybody. This is my Super Bowl hoodie. You know, Super Bowl, my brother and dad. It's no big deal. Aaron Donald's gonna send me something next week. It's all good.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'm gonna call AD right after this and tell him exactly what I need.
I'm
just kidding.
The thing is, you might just be kidding, but Ray and I actually kind of believe you.
I saw her video, her montage of the Super Bowl experience, and I was just like, wow. Like, in my mind, I'm thinking it's just a game. And I've watched your video that you made.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're legit. You're big time, Brooke. I'm glad to be a part of this. I'm glad to ride your coattail on this show here.
Amen.
Hey, being a part of the family, Super Bowl week is like a whole party in itself. I didn't sleep one night. I literally woke up the morning of the Super Bowl like crying because I was so tired and so stressed. And I was like, how do you come back from this? And then, the game didn't go so well, but it was still fun. It was a party. We had a good time. Highly recommend.
Who we got next
this year,
Thursday?
Super Bowl Los Angeles.
Do y'all know who we got next? Who's on the slate next Thursday?
It's Jaguars versus Bengals, and then after that we get good games. Then it's Seahawks Rams.
Seahawks Rams. I'm going with theme because I got enough of that.
Brooks leaving us again. I'm going to see that. Seahawks Rams.
No.
I don't know. I'm not going. I'm not going. No, I'm just going with the theme. I'm going to be wearing some Rams gear.
I wear the Rams.
No. I'm not leaving y'all again. Don't worry.
I'll wear the helmet on that week.
Yeah, you have to put it on. You got to call your pick.
When does the show end? Are we almost done?
Now.
All right, fine. We're out.
Who's the host?
Sorry,
Who's the producer?
Ray.
End it. Cut.
No, we're having fun on this fantasy happy hour. All right. Since Ray wants to go, he wants to get to the game. We got the game starting soon. Panthers Texans. I'm cheersing out. See y'all next week. Fantasy happy hour. Elliot, Ray, thank you for being great.